Welcome back, everybody, to Desert Valley Blitz. This is our Week 11 wrap-up. I can't believe we're at the
We're
end,
here.
Coach.
Yeah.
We're here,
It's
man.
been a good season, man.
Yeah, it's been a great ride. But today, we're really excited because we got a real special guest. We actually have a professional in the house.
Yep.
Mr. Kenji Eto of KESQ. Kenji's Corner joining us today. Thanks for coming in, man.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me, and I'm excited to join the Desert Valley Blitz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we're happy to have you, man. But before we get into the wrap-up, we want to hear a little bit about you, man. How'd you get into to this sports media game?
Yeah, well, I went to Costa Mesa High School, and I was actually a trumpet player in the band, and I played for a lot of years. I was like, I want to be involved in sports because I love sports. I love all sports, football, hockey, baseball,
Yeah.
so be it. But my favorite has always been football. And I always said, okay, I have option A, which is be a sports journalist, pundit, etc., or I can be a coach. And I looked at all the different segues. I looked at sports journalism had like more, I would say, leeway and legways for me to make a career than being a coach, because I saw a coach being like, okay, I have to be a teacher and then also have to be a coach at the same
Yeah.
time. So
Not a lot of money in coaching either. So.
Yeah.
so I ultimately chose that. I went to Arizona State, got my bachelor's degree in sports journalism, and I
Awesome.
got the job at News Channel 3 a couple weeks after I graduated.
Really?
Graduated college, yeah.
That's
So
awesome. So how long have you been in the Valley?
a little over a year and a half.
Okay.
So January 9th of 2026 will be my second year in the desert.
So this is your second football season that
Yeah.
you covered.
Oh, it feels like you've been here longer.
Yeah, I
don't
know it does. Really, you already feel like you're a native, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I what I think it is that when I visit all these high school practices and do the student athlete of the week profiles, or just get some, I would say, pregame sound to talk about, like, the upcoming game ahead. I've built such a good connection with every athlete from every school, and especially all the coaches, because the coaches are going to let you interview the players, film the practice. So I think just building a great relationship with all those people is really made the difference.
Yeah, I remember coaching. It feels like we're in the big time when the news is out. Like we're doing
Yeah.
something right when
TV
the news
crews
is
out,
yeah, asking to get interviews from the kids. So I know I'm sure the coaches always love you when you come out. So.
And I'm always respectful too with the coaches, because I know how the sport of football is, right? Like, they want to get as much practice time as possible. So I always say to them, it's like, make sure those lights are on up in the stadium, because I'll do the interviews after practice, and they're always like, thank you so much for doing that, instead of like at the start of practice when they're like warming up. So
Right in the middle.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, distracted the players.
We're doing a pup session. You're trying to grab the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, that's true. So what are some of your since we have you as the professional in here, what are some of your storylines for this year? We're getting towards the end of the season here. What kind of storylines do you see developing this year?
Yeah, I would say I like the storyline of that Palm Springs was undefeated for so long, and I know they finished 9-1 on the year, which is great, because the year before they finished 3-7. So I think that's an amazing story. Palm Desert repeating at DEL champs as well, or I should say co-DEL champions, because they shared it with Palm Springs. I think that's a great story. And I think how many teams, and I know we'll get to it later, but how many teams are making the playoffs again? I mean, that's incredible, because all these kids, they want to play for that extra chance, that extra game. So I think it means so much to all these kids.
Yeah, and we're real excited to kind of go into that. A lot of desert teams be represented this weekend. Make sure you get out there and support. We'll get into that in the next segment, but we're going to go ahead and start the roundup. A game of the week that Josh had picked that we all three were at. What was your game of the week, Coach?
Palm Desert La Quinta, man. I thought it was going to be a better game. It's probably the worst competitive flag game I've seen personally. It was tough. Palm Desert just came out and completely shut down the offense. La Quinta, they really struggled on that side of the ball. I thought for the most part, the defense for La Quinta kind of kept them in the game enough. I think if they would have had more help from the offense, I don't know if Palm Desert would have scored 35. Maybe they scored 27 or something. But it was tough.
Yeah,
it was tough.
It was pretty lopsided. What were some of your takeaways, Kenji?
Yeah, I was at that full game, and when I usually film a game, I'm only there for a half, but this was a special occasion. Obviously, it's the best rivalry in town, in my opinion, and Blake's personal opinion. He's told me that multiple times, and I was surprised. I'm like, this is the flag game? It's like,
Yeah.
there's no way. It's like
Yeah.
35-0, the final. That's unbelievable. But what I think it was at the end of the day is that, the big men win up front. The
Mhm.
lineman is
Absolutely.
what really carried the game. And, looking back at I would say not the film, but the footage that I filmed,
Mhm.
Roman Ansley, the La Quinta quarterback, had no time back
No.
there.
Yeah.
He had to get rid of that ball within 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So I think that made the difference. And then Palm Desert's offense is on such a tear right now.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I have a friend who goes to Ohio State University, and I said, this high school team called Palm Desert High School, they're on an Ohio State run because they just put up points. They're a stout defense, and they're winning games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're peaking at right when you wanted, right before playoffs.
Yeah.
And it goes. We talked about we had 40 in here, and they put all their good players on defense. So at the beginning of the year, their defense is stout, but you can see that offense getting better and better and better. And now they got two very good units. They're ranked number one in there. We'll get into that later in the playoff bracket, but yeah, they're peaking at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's what you want as a coach.
Yeah.
That 40 got them going.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
right
what you
after
want.
that Xavier loss, I think that's a big time storyline in DEL, the recovery of Palm Desert and just how sharp they've been on offense. I mean,
they look good on
I
offense.
have not seen anybody do what they did to Palm Springs in that first half of the Palm Springs game. That offense just looked spectacular. So shout out to the Aztecs, man. They came in and handled it in a surprising 35-0 score. And once again, Palm Desert has the flag, but La Quinta, they get a consolation prize. They still get third in the DEL.
Yeah.
They'll be still playing. So
And they are in the same bracket. We might see it again.
we
You don't
could.
know.
That's a long way away, coach.
I know, you don't know.
Long
That's
way
a
away.
long way away. But hey, we can
You never
dream.
know.
We can
We
dream.
can dream.
We can dream, right? So game of the week, one-sided affair this
Yeah.
year. La Quinta will be looking to rebound this year. And that's the great thing about football. It's week to week, right? You can look horrible the first 1 week
Yeah.
and then look spectacular the next week.
Yeah.
So that's what La Quinta's kind of betting on. Moving on to another game in the DEL this week in our wrap up. Palm Springs 33, Rancho Mirage 21. Did you get to watch any film?
I didn't
on
watch
Coach?
this one. I got to see the Shadow Hills one, but sounds like Rancho Mirage played really well.
Rancho Mirage had their guys back. Kenji, did you get any footage of this one?
No, I did not, but we still got coverage of the game, and it made the difference that Jeremiah Johnson and a lot of those key players for Rancho was back. And I really like that Rancho stays true to their system. They're kind of like an RPO type team, and hopefully I'm not giving too much away, but
Well, their season's done, so we can spill all the beans.
But I really like how they stay true to their system. LD Matthews is a great, awesome coach, and he really makes his players be humble and never be too high or too low, just in the middle. But I think Palm Springs was just different this year. Koa Rapola, Jordan
beast.
Johnson when he was healthy. And then this freshman, Kalon Smith, we call him Tank. And he's just a beast.
Yeah.
And then I think the biggest improvement of the whole team is Bishop Miller. the quarterback.
100%.
When I saw him last year, I just said, man, who is this quarterback that just keeps on running and running and running around and throwing the ball and making a miracle throw?
Yeah.
Now he's, comfortable in the pocket and just dices up defenses it's like he's I would say a dual threat college, level system. So
Yeah.
I think Palm Springs, what a year.
Yeah, and they're going to continue on.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll get to their draw here coming up. A little bit more about that game though. Rancho was actually winning that game. They were winning 14-7. Rancho's looking like Rancho because they had all their guys back. What could have been, right, if they didn't have that fight? What could have been for Rancho Mirage? But
Shadow Hills too.
Shadow Hills too. I mean, that one incident. Players, listen up, man. That one bonehead incident can really totally turn your season on a dime. So, word to the wise: do not come off the sidelines.
Stay on that sideline.
Stay on that sideline. But Rancho was right there in this game. Palm Springs had to kind of churn this thing out in the second half. Bishop Miller got him going in the second half. Rapola kind of was running the rock again. So, it was not a blowout by any means. I think this is just. Rancho Mirage will be back. Coach Matthews will have them back. He's a great coach, and he'll have.
And we
that
love
program
Matthews.
back.
Yeah, he'll be back.
We'll be looking for brighter days for Rancho. They got some real good young players on that team. I think their freshman team went undefeated.
Oh,
So
that's
Oh
always a
wow.
good
yeah,
sign.
so they're and they already have freshmen on varsity. So
No kidding.
yeah, so Rancho will be a threat to contend with for many years to come.
Hmm.
But Palm Springs onto the playoffs. They get that number one seed, co-champions.
Yep.
Shout out to the Indians, man. What a turnaround.
Great year.
What an amazing story. Moving on to the next DEL matchup. Shadow Hills 23, Xavier Prep 7. So
Yeah.
Coach, you got to see a little bit of the film on
Yeah,
this
I
one.
was really looking forward to this game because I'm a big fan of Xavier's defense. I have been for a couple years. They really play sound defense. And then on the flip side, Shadow Hills got that explosive offense, and Shadow Hills does such a good job of putting players in conflict. Like they'll have a shallow route, maybe like a flare or a bubble, or even a wide receiver screen, so that wide or the outside linebacker will come up and they'll throw that 10-yard stick route right behind
Mhm.
them. And so if those guys, and then if they drop back, they'll just throw the bubble real quick. So they do a good job, not just on the outside linebacker, they'll put the inside linebacker in conflict. And then if you think you're going to stop that stick route with the safety, they'll go, "Oh, cool story, bro. We'll just throw the post over
Over
that."
the
So
top. Yeah.
I was looking forward to it. And it was a real back and forth the first few series. Xavier they came out in a 30. They were playing their defense. They were stopping them. And um, eventually, though, that Shadow Hills offense started to wear them down. The wide receivers started to find the holes. They started to adjust their routes a little bit, starting getting some momentum. And they went down and scored. And at some point in that second quarter, Peelan went down.
Yeah. I heard.
Got hurt. The new quarterback, whoever came in, he did a good job. I think his number is 15.
Okay.
He came in, his first two pass attempts were completion. He hit a stop route, 5-yard stop route, and then he threw a nice wheel down the sideline for about 40 yards. I was like, okay, who's this guy?
Hmm.
But Shadow Hills on their defense, they were doing a good job in their blitz packages. They were bringing two off the edge. That's always tough to block.
Mm.
And they were having to tuck the ball and run. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough offense to overcome Shadow Hills. So it was a good game. I enjoyed watching it from start to finish. It was fun. So
Did you get to check out any of that game, or?
Yeah, I did check out that game a little bit, and I would say my biggest two takeaways is that I'm not surprised that Xavier was held to 7 points. Not because their offense is not good. Their offense is great. I mean, they put 19 points up against Palm Desert in the Battle of Cook Street. But David Palmer, the head coach at Shadow Hills, he is such a defense first head coach, and he's gonna do whatever it takes to hold a team to 0 points. Xavier Prep's defense is just as good as any defense in the whole valley.
It
And
sure
it
is.
really helps that, head coach James Dockery played at the collegiate level,
Yeah.
played in the professional level. I mean, he knows so much. And then he also went to PD when, PD was at an all-time peak too. And then Shadow putting up 23 points. Honestly, I'm a little surprised, but not too much, because I feel like that they were resting some guys to kind of get ready for playoffs in a sense, because it was kind of a toss up who was going to get into the playoffs, Xavier Prep or Shadow Hill. So
Right.
I think it was kind of I would say it was a hit or miss. So
Right, almost like a playing game,
Mhm.
right? Whoever's going to win is definitely getting in. Even though I think Xavier at 6-4 probably should have got in.
I completely agree.
they 6-4. They play in one of the toughest leagues in Southern
Yeah.
California. So
Mhm.
I was kind of surprised when Xavier did not make it, because they had a pretty good resume coming into and they beat the number one team.
Yeah.
Pretty, in the first game of the season, the first game of the league. So
100%.
they had a good resume. I was
Yeah.
just kind of shocked that they
Mhm.
didn't get in, but hey, that's above our pay grade. We can only
Talk
give our
about
opinion.
it. Yeah.
The only score by Xavier in this game was a strip fumble taken the other way. So
Yeah.
technically, Shadow Hills didn't give up anything on defense.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's
They were blitzing nice.
like you guys
Yeah.
said, man, that defense showed up. They got a pretty good matchup coming up this week. We'll get to. We're kind of excited for Shadow Hills.
we'll talk about
yeah,
that in a
and we
little
want to
bit.
talk about them and give them their flowers. But good job by Shadow Hills winning and getting in. So we're gonna move on to the DVL now. So we had a couple Bell games that
Yeah.
I've been associated with one of these particularly. So Coachella Valley 37, Indio 7. Like we said, we weren't on paper. This wasn't going to be a very competitive game. The
But
score,
you never know.
yeah, you never know, But the score says 37-7, which is not, not too embarrassing. It was 37-0 at the half, I believe. But the Coachella came out and did what they had to do and won the
Yeah.
DVL handily. So shout out to them,
Did
man.
Garza play? Do you know?
Garza did not play.
All right.
They're kind of saving him for the
Smart.
playoffs.
I would.
They didn't really. They had Xavier Hernandez in there, the sophomore, slinging the rock, and did well enough. Almost put up 40 points.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Did you get to check out any of the Bell game?
Yeah, I would say when I do like see these games, I'm just seeing the highlights and like what we do get, and in a sense, it's like I'm glad that they did start Xavier Hernandez, because it's like, okay, what if Garza doesn't play in the next week? Let's get this sophomore quarterback,
Get him ready.
like
Get him
his
reps.
feet wet, because it's completely different when you're just going through the motions in practice, or maybe like doing a little bit of hitting in practice, versus like when D linemen are hungry
Game
and
speed.
they're like I'm gonna try and hit you so hard that
You might not get up.
yeah, exactly. So like every bone in your body breaks. I mean, like, of course we don't want that, but that's the D-line mentality. I know that for certain.
Absolutely. And yeah, Xavier Hernandez got a lot of reps, so he's going to be seasoned now. So if anything does happen in the playoffs, and Coachella can make a run, they're in Division 12, and we'll get that in the next segment. But they may be one of the better. Looking at them in that division, they may be one of the better teams, and that's going to be a fun division. We'll talk about that in the next segment. But they're going to need to be healthy at the right time. So they seem like they're kind of clicking at the right time. So shout out to the Arabs. They keep that bell again.
Hopefully Garza's ready to come back.
Yeah, this Raja's not happy that we haven't had that bell in 13 years, and we got to do something about that at some point. But that's for next year.
That's another podcast.
That's a whole long podcast. So moving on to another Bell game. So they play for Bell up in the high desert. Yucca Valley 29 Palms 0. So Yucca Valley coming off that forced bye week.
And they were not messing around.
They were kind of upset, upset, and took it out on the Wildcats. Pretty convincing victory.
Yeah, I thought the Wildcats would score some points.
You was thinking a rivalry game, there would be a little bit more points scored by the opposition, but Aiden Pope, our guy Aiden Pope, 3 touchdowns, kind of back on track.
He's an amazing player,
almost 200 yards receiving.
Yeah,
looked like that offense kind of got back on track. Their running back Clyde King, he kind of got going over 100 yards. Yucca Valley might be back on track. That bye week might have done some good for them.
When Clyde King's going, man, Yucca's tough to stop, because it just
Mm-hmm.
makes the defense. Do I want to stop the run now, or do I drop back and drop the pass? So I'm glad that King got going. So.
Well, especially if you're bracketing Pope, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
then you only got a 7 box, and now the run game's wide open.
100%.
So Bell game, that DVL kind of fell into place. Both Coachella and Yucca make the postseason, kind of as we predicted. But
same bracket, right?
yeah, so same. We'll get to
be?
that.
All right,
Pretty
all
awesome. Pretty awesome. CIF did us some favors on that one. Moving on to another really interesting game. Desert Christian Academy. So my Conquerors, I've been touting that they might go undefeated since week 1, right, Coach? You're not going to make a liar
the table
out of me,
early.
man. Looking at their schedule, just knowing what they had, they're probably their toughest game of the season. They had to go up to this school called Vasquez, who was undefeated as well. And DCA takes care of business, 48-6.
I got to see a little bit of it. It was just the first couple series. Both teams came out running, and they traded blows. They stopped each other a couple times. They both wanted to run the ball a little bit, and then DCA just started dialing up their wide receiver screens. They got a big wide receiver. They were doing that alleyway screen, and then they'd fake it. They'd fake that, and then go up top, over the top. They hit that for a couple quick scores, and before you knew it, was 21-0. So
21-0, no looking back.
I can see why they're scoring so many points.
Yeah,
they got a good system.
That offense is potent. What do you know about the Conquerors?
That their whole coaching staff is awesome to work with, for sure. Coach Roy, he's like one of the best. Chris Johnson, one of the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can go on and on about the coaching staff, but what I really like about DCA is that like they've like implemented like that new like system, right? It kind of reminds me of Coachella Valley's system. I don't know if they brought over a coach from Coachella.
The coordinators from CV. Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah, they all look the same, right?
Because I remember covering DCA last year, and I was like, this team's great, but man, they're running like a triangle offense, and it's like how are they even putting up points here? And just to see how much DCA has grown, evolved, and the young talent they have too, the Gallo twin brothers, or the Gallo twins, I should say, and Kevin Bowles, they're just like beasts, and their future's bright for sure.
Yeah, and they got a lot of young talent out there, but they're going to be tested this weekend. We'll finally a formidable opponents coming
Yeah.
into DCA this week. So
But whatever
we're
happens,
excited.
it's still a great season. 10 and
Hey,
0.
we're
Yeah.
excited though, man.
Yeah.
That's what you play these games for, to get those home games, because coming down the pipe, you got to win a tough game in the playoffs at some point. So awesome job by the Conquerors, 10-0, only undefeated team
Only
in the
one,
Valley, and
yeah.
it's not easy to do. I mean, it hasn't been done in 7 years, if I'm correct, right? It's been a while. 2018.
It
We'll have
has
to go
been.
back.
It has been a while.
Yeah, so
I
it's-
don't remember the
It's
last.
hard to do. It's 2018 was the last desert undefeated team.
Who was it? Palm Desert?
I think it was Palm Desert. So
Wow.
not easy to do. We as coaches can attest.
that's tough. That's a long
You've been
season.
saying that you got to be perfect.
You got to be
gotta
perfect, and they're just high school kids, and mistakes happen, and it's tough to have kids a unit lock in that for that long and be that perfect, and they were able to do that, man. That's fantastic achievement.
Yeah. Awesome job.
Yeah.
Awesome job, DCA.
Good job, DCA.
All right. So moving on. So Desert Chapel, this went up to Hamilton. Desert Chapel 48, Hamilton 46. So Desert Chapel gets their second win. How about these stats though, Coach? You'll enjoy this. Their quarterback Sam Morehouse, 598 yards passing in one game.
Wow.
Yeah, 35 of 48 passing. That's pretty impressive. Like, I don't care who you're playing against. You're playing against air. That's pretty impressive, right?
It is.
600 yards.
Yeah,
of,
for
of
kids
passing?
to do that on air is pretty impressive.
I
Wow.
mean,
That's
that-
like video game type
That
numbers.
is
Yeah.
that's crazy. That's crazy. So I mean, and then their receiver Javon Garcia, he had 3 touchdowns and 216 yards. 4 touchdowns. Sorry, 4 touchdowns. That's quite a day at
That's
the
a
office.
gang.
He's competing with Pope with those kind of numbers, man.
Wow.
So Desert Chapel, not a great season in terms of wins, but I think they're building blocks.
Yeah.
there, right. They've
Yeah,
got
something to
some
build
they've
around.
got some young talent. They end the season on a winning note. So shout out to Desert Chapel, man.
Those
Great
games
job.
are good memories to take with you, man.
Yeah,
They'll stay with you for a
And they
lifetime.
get a little bit of defense over there. Watch out, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna be. I know that's what the coaching staff over there
Have,
is gonna
have
be
you got to
looking at.
see them play a little bit this year? I haven't got to see them.
I've got to see them at practice
Mm-hmm.
because I do those annual team previews on each team from the Valley. We do every DEL, DVL, Sun Valley League.
Mm-hmm. I love
and
those, by the
also-
way.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And when I was at Desert Chapel, I was like, who's the quarterback and who's the receiver? And also, because, they wear different numbers at practice.
Mhm.
And I go, it's like, oh, Sam and Javon. And I go, why are you guys wearing different numbers? And they go, oh, because of reasons. And they gave me the reason why I kind of forgot. But like just their connection from one another. It's like Sam knows what Javon is going to do like automatically, but it feels like that Javon like is reading Sam's mind as well. It's like that connection is like this.
It takes time to get that too. So
And they're both underclassmen. I think Javon is a sophomore and Sam is a junior, I think.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be pretty scary next season when you go against Desert Chapel.
Yeah, and they just got to find some defense.
Little bit of defense
We've been
with
talking
that.
about that
Yeah.
all year.
Yeah.
You
They'll
got to
get
get
it.
a couple stops. With that
Yeah.
offense, you only need 2 or 3. You're good,
Yeah.
right? You only need with those guys.
when you come in, you want to fix the offense first, and then
just a couple stops, coach.
Yeah,
That's
I
all you
know.
need,
I
and
know.
you're gonna be right on track to have a nice winning season. Moving on to the SVL. So Banning goes out to Desert Mirage on Friday night, a Halloween night game. Banning 50, Desert Mirage 22. So if Banning puts up another 50 burger,
that
out
offense
there.
is looking nice. It's easy when you score in bunches, and Desert Mirage, they got that power running game. It takes a while, a lot of plays to get downfield, but on the flip side, Banning will just throw a couple of seam routes in there in the end zone. So I can see why they put up such a big, so many points.
Yeah.
It's easy when you're scoring 50-yard touchdowns. So I didn't get to see the game, but based on the score, I'm pretty sure they passed the ball right.
Oh, I'm for sure.
Yeah.
So, but that puts Banning at 8-2 on the season. A heck of a season, man.
They're good.
Desert Mirage, they go out, fighting, but that'll probably be their last game of the season.
Yeah.
They had a good season too, though.
Great
Don't
season.
sleep on Desert Mirage. They won a couple tough games.
Coaching
in
staff
there.
did a great job with those guys.
They
man.
run the ball and they stick to what they do. So, but Banning is going to win that division pretty handily, and they're going to have a pretty interesting game first week that we'll talk, or
We got
first
some,
round
yeah.
that's coming up. So, shout out to the Broncos on that one, and then finally Cat City and Desert Hot Springs on Halloween night. So You play a Halloween night game, and not a lot of press are going to be there, and not
Yeah.
not a lot of people outside of parents will be there. So I didn't be able to find a ton of information on this game, but the final score was DHS 30, Cat City 22. So this was basically a play-in game for the SVL's final spot. So Desert Hot Springs is going to make the playoffs in the Division 13. They basically play their way in, and from what I hear about the game, Cat City was up. And Desert Hot Springs had to do a Desert Hot Springs rally at the end, and kind of they had that quarterback
Yeah.
Turner had to lead them back to victory. So pretty exciting game on Halloween night to get into the playoffs for the.
Yeah, they're a little bit more balanced on offense. So I can see them why they put up a little bit more points. But hats off to the Lions, man. What a great season.
Right. I mean, for the Lions to even be in that situation is a great job by that
Yeah.
coaching staff, because the numbers that they had, and you could probably speak to that they were kind of down in numbers this year, and only 29 guys in the whole program to be almost in the playoffs is a great job by that staff.
Yeah, and I love that, also every player on that team is just they play until that whistle blows, and they love to be physical. They might be small, but they're a physical team that will not get dirty, in a sense of chirping at the opposing player, but they're gonna clash helmets with one another, and Richard Lee, he does such a great job there, and all props to him.
Yeah.
They did a great job, fantastic job, Cat
Great
City.
job.
I mean, to even be in that conversation, and you almost pulled it off. You're only 8 points away from making the playoffs, so excellent job. I think Cat City was young. I know there was a lot of freshmen starting on that team.
And they'll be back.
So they'll be back, and they'll be probably much better coming up next year. But that's going to do it for their season this year, and that's also going to do it for this Week 11 wrap up. We'll be back with the preview of the first round of the playoffs. Very exciting stuff right after a word from our sponsors. Looking to upgrade your home? Tile Designs by Fina is your one-stop destination for beautiful flooring, hard surfaces, and countertops. From timeless design, modern styles, they've got the perfect look for every room. Stop by today and transform your space with Tile Designs by Fina. Let's design together. Tired of payroll headaches? iPay Solutions is your local payroll and HR partner right here in the Coachella Valley. From direct deposits to compliance, we handle the details so you can focus on growing your business. iPay Solutions, local, reliable, and built for your success.
Got dirty carpets, tile, or furniture? Trust the Carpet and Tile Care Company, your family-run experts. We bring sparkle back to your home with top-notch cleaning services, reliable, affordable, and eco-friendly. Call us today. We can be reached at carpetcarrot.co. Phone number 760-773-5882.
Welcome back, everybody, to Desert Valley Blitz. We're going to move on to our playoff first round Southern section preview here. We're super excited. Got a lot of great matchups. We got 8 teams in the Valley playing this week, so that's an awesome job by the Desert football community. We want to commend all the teams that made it and say congratulations also to the teams that didn't make it. Most of you guys had great seasons, and we look forward to covering you next year. But Coach Josh, man, we got a lot of good games on this slate. What is your game of the week?
Game of the week's got to be Coachella Banning. I mean, it's 2 local teams going at it, high-powered offenses. I kind of leaning towards Coachella Valley, but Banning, I wouldn't sleep on them, man. I seen them play earlier this year. They're very efficient. Quarterback's got great timing. They got a good receiver, can play in the slot. He runs a great seam route, and they got great timing on it. So, it's going to be a good game.
I mean, a lot of points scored. Kenji, what do you think of that pick?
Yeah, I think it is the game of the week for sure. I don't, like you said, 2 high-power offenses, and I just looked at, because I would say our station doesn't really cover Banning. I would say we just cover the scores of Banning because, that's such a far trip for us. But just seeing how crazy the talent is at Banning. Their quarterback has over 3,200 yards and 36 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And then their star wide receiver, Jamari Garlington, averages 137 yards per game, has 1,300 receiving yards and 16 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, those are
they're ranked in the state.
those are best in the state, maybe. I mean, that is ridiculous. And you just have to ask, how in the world does he always get open with those type of numbers?
Yeah.
And then Coachella, they're known for their high power offense. So I think it's literally going to be a shootout between both schools.
Yeah. I mean, remember when they went up to Yucca Valley and both teams, they've scored 100 points between the 2 teams. I think
it was a 100-point game.
that could happen again this
100%.
week because these 2 teams, know how to light up a scoreboard. Banning is 8-2, coach. So it's not gonna be no cakewalk for the Arabs, man. They're gonna have their work cut out for them.
No,
But they're peaking at the right time.
I think
Mm-hmm.
I think
You know?
Coachella's maybe a little bit better of a schedule. Maybe they're a little bit battle tested for this, but
Yeah.
that's why we play. We don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out. But it's definitely gonna be awesome. And one team from our area is gonna be in the second round,
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Somebody's gotta win.
Thank you,
so-
football gods.
Yeah, we'll have somebody. In the second round, so that's awesome. And yeah, we're looking forward to that one. That's going to be a great game. So
That's gonna be a good one.
moving on, though, we do have 7 other teams. The top team in the valley, according to this, is Palm Springs. They're in Division 7, the highest rated team. Also, number 1 seed in the bracket, which is pretty amazing. They're going to take on a Claremont team, a 7-3 Claremont team. What did we know about Claremont?
They're very good on the road. They're 4-1 on the road, which is like no easy task because any road environment is going to be really tough. They're going to be rowdy. They're going to not necessarily heckle, but they're going to make a lot of noise just to throw all the timing off. And because I know what it's like being on the sidelines. Just as a reporter, at every level, high school and college, and it gets loud, and I could only imagine what these players feel. But I think with Palm Springs, I think the keys to their success is that they need to stay true to their identity. I think the big thing is that they play with a lot of swag. They play like that, like nobody can stop them, nobody can beat them, and I think that's what really is key to their success. I would say another point is Bishop Miller as well. I know I mentioned him earlier, but he just has to stay composed in that pocket because if he starts running around all over the place, it's going to be bad news bears. And then also, I think that Palm Springs need to keep Claremont on their toes as well, because if you have Cole Ropola in the backfield or Kalon Smith in the backfield, it's an obvious run play or an obvious screenplay, so you kind of have to be in a sense mysterious in a sense, but also like kind of keep that Palm Springs culture still alive.
Yeah, definitely. And they got Palm Springs talented, man. They got stars at every level. But they're at home, so and the number 1 seed. So we're expecting them to
Definitely the toughest draw though, as far as bracket wise.
Yeah,
right?
but once you get past this game, I mean, we don't even want to talk about that yet. But Palm Springs is in Division 7. There's no going to be no easy games in this division. So
No easy games at
It's
all.
kind of a testament how good they played this year. Just how much respect they got around the state for them to be ranked so high. So.
yeah, I mean, Palm Desert beat them and they're in the lower bracket. So that just speaks to what CIF thought of their schedule. And
It's a
like
good
I said,
body
I
of work.
thought they had the hardest schedule preseason.
Oh, yeah.
And they were undefeated.
Yeah.
So, those things sometimes hurt you in these situations,
In
right?
this new algorithm computer age, it seems too. I mean, we'll talk about that later, but some teams got a really nice draw. you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So Palm Springs at home, number 1 seed. Let's go Indians. Let's get this. Let's
go.
get to the second round. We'll worry about the second round when we get there.
Yeah.
But we'll be pulling for you guys, all you guys out there at Palm Springs. Let's go Tribe.
100%.
Moving on to the next division. So Palm Desert DEL co-champions gets the number 1 seed in Division 8. They're going to take on a Marina team from Huntington Beach, California. What do we know about Marina?
What I know about Marina so far, and this is just based on Max Prep's, their stats and what they provide for us, or me, I should say. But I do know that they kind of have like a 1-2 punch, a ground game that's 1-2 punch, a kind of quarterback and running back. So if I were Palm Desert, or if I were a fan of Palm Desert, maybe watch out for the read option, because it's like their quarterback has 635 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and then their starting running back has 709 and 1 touchdown. So,
Okay.
I mean, I think that kind of gives a hint away. But
Yeah.
also at the same time, what we were talking about earlier about Palm Desert, right, is that they're just unstoppable to stop on offense. And I think that the only thing that is going to change from this Palm Desert team, in my personal opinion, is that AJ Rivera, the quarterback, is going to have to, I would say, buy a little more time and like kind of evade the pocket, because this Marina team has 45 tackles for loss and 33 hurries.
Okay. So they're good up front.
Yeah, they're good up front, and I would say in general, good front seven. So I think that it's going to be a little bit of a different Palm Desert team that we've seen in the regular season, but they're still going to, I would say, play PD football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. The key to stopping that Palm Desert offense is like you said, hurrying the quarterback. if you get a little bit of pressure on that, maybe get him to run outside the pocket a little bit. I can see that working. Um, I think Palm Desert's going to win just because they just saw a similar offense in La Quinta, a
absolutely.
power running game with a
Power
running
run game.
quarterback. So, I mean, that plan worked good last week. So
Yeah.
I would keep it the same. It'd be nice. I think Palm Desert's going to win, but
Yeah, and Palm Desert's hot. They're playing their best
They are.
football of the season.
They
They've
are.
beaten 2 really good teams back, or 3 really good teams back to back to back, pretty
Yeah.
convincingly.
and they have a good screen game. If they're getting pressured on the quarterback, they can get that ball out really fast. So.
And best defense in the Valley. I mean, their front 7 is nasty, and I can think that if this team can't really throw the ball, it's going to be a long night for them offensively because their Palm Desert's really good up front. So we're expecting Palm Desert to do their thing at home.
At home
too. So that you get that.
Good
Huntington
advantage.
Beach is a long bus ride,
Yeah.
man.
About 2 to 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm originally from Orange County, so I know that drive
Yeah.
to come down here. Because I once in a while visit my parents here and there, and sometimes it can be a brutal drive because of all the freeways you have to take and
A little bit of traffic here and there.
a little bit of traffic here and there, and then also like that hill, like windy road. I mean, that's just the worst road imaginable.
Yeah.
And plus, if you got to get on a yellow bus, it's
Oh
even,
my
even
goodness.
worse.
Yeah,
You
even
double,
worse.
They'll have a
double all
charter.
the misery. You
Yeah.
think they have a charter?
I think
they're
they
from
will.
Orange County. They probably have a
Yeah.
charter. We'll be taking yellow buses, but let's go Palm Desert though.
Let's
Number
go.
1 seed. Let's get it done at home. We want to talk about you for a couple of weeks.
I think it's a good draw for him.
Yeah, good draw.
Division 8.
We're excited. And speaking of not so good draw, we're gonna move on to Division 8. La Quinta at 7-3 is going to Fullerton 8-2. Man, that's another bus ride. That's in the wrong direction for La Quinta. Coming off that flag disappointment, what are we
Yeah.
expecting in this game, Coach?
Well, they got to play better this week, that's for sure. But I think they will. Every now and then you just have an off night, you just show up, and for whatever reason things aren't working. I think they're going to go back to the drawing board and figure that out. Fullerton, are they pretty good?
8-2.
Oh man,
8-2.
No,
Their
all the
offense
games
is,
are tough
their
from here
offense
on
is
out.
legit. The film that I saw,
really?
it looked like they got pretty good skill guys.
I know they played Indio earlier
well
in the year, and
yeah,
it's 50-0, but
but I mean that's no indicator of what
Can't really
the
tell
Quinta's going to
nothing.
see. But Fullerton's a pretty good team, right?
Yeah, 5-0 at home, which is undefeated at home. That's pretty impressive within itself. The quarterback for Fullerton is 14-5, 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and at home the defense only allows 10 points a game.
Oof.
So it's going to be no easy task. And then their running back and wide receiver, Cade Wise, 1,100 yards and 17 total touchdowns.
That's quite a season.
so La Quinta's got
They got their hands full.
Yeah,
got their work
they
cut
got their
out.
hands full. But I think the key things for La Quinta is that you got to protect Roman Ansley, the quarterback. The defense is pretty good within itself. I mean, just stay healthy. And then also, I think we saw in the flag game, but the receivers just need to catch the ball.
had some big drops.
Ansley, this puts it on a dime, and
I know. Yeah,
they look at the ball and it's like, where's it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the floor.
that was
So-
third. That was third down, by the way.
Yeah, third down. So, So catch the ball
Yeah.
and protect Ansley.
And I think they will. They'll play better.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're expecting
Yeah.
a better performance. But like I said, La Quinta's got a nice little road trip. We're pulling for the Blackhawks. We want you guys to come home,
Yep.
get to that second round, and so we can talk about you one more week. So let's go
Let's go, La
Blackhawks.
Quinta.
Get on that bus and
Yeah, let's go.
and travel like the old La Quinta days when La Quinta would go on the road and beat everybody.
Yep.
So we're excited. We're going to be rooting for you. Moving on to another DEL at-large team that got in. Miss Shadow Hills. So Jurupa Hills at 4-6 is coming into Shadow Hills
Yeah.
in a Division 11 matchup. So Shadow Hills is a much lower division with the at-large seed and gets a pretty good draw.
I think they got the best draw
Mm-hmm.
from the Desert team. I think they have the best chance to go the farthest in the playoffs, just based on brackets. They still got to play the games.
Yeah.
But Shadow Hill's a good football team. They put up a lot of points. Defense, we talked about it. Palmer's a defensive-minded coach. I love the way he blitzes his blitz packages. He will bring two off the edge. He will blitz from depth, meaning they're not showing the blitz and he just comes late. So the guard thinks that he's not coming. He's looking this way and then he just comes right in. So, don't sleep on Shadow Hills. I think I have a a strong feeling they might make it to that championship game in that bracket. So
Wow, okay.
yeah, we'll
That's
see.
a bold prediction
Yeah.
over here. Well, they were the
Call
last
it like
team
I see
standing
it.
last year. I
Yep.
mean, so they're used to this.
in
They
the second
do it.
round, and
Yeah.
they barely lost last year too. It was kind of heartbreaking when I was covering that game last year. I'm like, man, that's how you go out. It's like that's unfortunate. And then the worst part of it, like of it all, is like interviewing the players after a loss.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like,
Especially a senior, right? It was the
Yeah.
last game. Oh, that's brutal.
yeah, like I mean, it's nonstop crying. It's nonstop like, stuff. Like I mean, it's tough. But
Those
like,
losses stay with you, man. It's
Oh,
tough.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's
We
I
all
don't
can
know why.
remember. We can all remember our
I
last
know.
game as a player. It never ends well for any of us.
Mhm.
So, so what do we know about Jerupa Hills? Do you know any? You got any insight?
Jerupa Hills. I was actually so they're a ground and pound team. Their leading rusher is 80 yards per game. And I would say they have a total of 1,400 rushing yards. So big rushing team. But a thing that I couldn't believe, and I don't know if the coach is not putting these stats in max preps. I have no clue, but I didn't believe it for my life. Defense is a struggle. No sacks or no interceptions.
I don't believe that either.
I don't believe that.
Our youth teams have
Someone's slacking.
Somebody's has a
Yeah.
sack or an interception.
Yeah.
That
So-
coach is offensive minded.
Yeah, so that coach might be offensive
Right.
minded or he's not keeping up the stats. But
Right.
no matter what, I think shout out, when I talked to Palmer like earlier in the season, he was like our receiving core, which is Anthony Garcia, Brandon Peffers, Shaheem Sama, and Reef
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, he just told me it's going to be a nightmare for opposing defenses to cover, and I think it's going to be the exact same case because Jesse Rodriguez can also sling the
He's
rock.
getting really good at running that offense.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's comfortable now. He had a couple weeks he was struggling, like he didn't like I would say find his rhythm, but I think he's now like fully locked in and
Yeah.
he's dicing up defenses like it's
He's like
nothing.
gamifying those concepts. Like they're starting to become easy for him to understand, and he's actually almost ahead of the play sometimes when he goes to throw it. So yeah, he's good, man.
Yeah, and in the DEL as well, like I mean, all those 4 receivers are top 10 in receiving yards. So
Yeah.
I mean, like watch out for all those 4 receivers.
Yeah,
for
they
sure.
got weapons, man. They've always had weapons.
Mhm.
I like their draw. I think the Knights can do something, and we're gonna be rooting for them, man. We want to see all these teams get to the second round.
Make some good memories. and
Yeah, and
represent the desert.
it's good for Valley football. So if you're out there, not playing, we should be supporting the teams that are still around because they represent us.
Yep.
Whether you want to admit it or not. Moving on. Okay, so Division 12. Now we got to talk about Division
Gets
12.
interesting here.
Division 12 is a very interesting division because we have 4 of our desert teams get placed in Division 12.
Call this the desert bracket.
It is the desert bracket, except for Costa Mesa.
Yeah.
Costa Mesa ain't the desert. But so Yucca Valley, we got Desert Christian, CV, and Banning all in Division 12.
All good teams too.
and that's awesome.
That's a good bracket.
One of these guys has to make a run. Just a game of numbers, right?
Yeah.
So we'll talk about the first matchup. Costa Mesa at Yucca Valley. You're an alumni
got
of Costa
alumni
Mesa.
here.
Yeah, so it's
Kenji, so what do you know about your alma mater?
Yeah, it's gonna play Coastal home, and I'm actually gonna be at that game. So Jeremy Johnson, head coach at Yucca Valley, I'll see you there, and Gary Gonzalez, the head coach at Costa Mesa, I'll see you there as well. It's unbelievable to see the turnaround at Costa Mesa High School. Being an alum, I graduated in 2019, and my senior year, I was in the band. I didn't play football, but my senior year we went 0-9,
Wow.
and 1 week we lost 77-0, and the next week we lost 81-0. So like 2 bad
Ouch.
weeks my senior year.
Yeah.
So now to see like my alma mater like kind of hand teams losses and put up points and like I would say just be dominant. It's awesome to see. But I think Yucca is going to make it. I think Yucca is really going to make a statement because, they're so like mysterious. You don't know what they're going to do. Yes, they're an air raid offense, but you can either give it to Pope and he'll take it to the house through the air, or you give it to Clyde King and
He'll take it to the house.
He'll take it to the house
Yeah.
through the ground. But I think Yucca Valley, and I'm pretty sure they saw the film already, but they have to watch out for this junior running back for the Mustangs. That's what Costa Mesa is, the Mustangs. Named Gavin Garza. He's a junior and he has 2,400.
2,400?
24 touchdowns. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay,
okay. I was going to
okay.
say, geez. you
I was
breaking
about to
some
start
type of
pounding on
record.
Xavier for Costa Mesa.
Actually, I have his
His yardage?
His yardage. He has 1,600
That's still-
1,600
That's
yards.
still a lot.
Hell of a season.
10
And then-
games, that's
yeah.
a lot.
And then their quarterback Andrew Wise, he has 2,000 total yards, 29 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions.
Wow.
Oh, so they're
Yeah.
They're a good team.
going through the air and on the ground.
Well, they're 9-1, so
Wow.
they're a good team. I mean, you play 10, win 9, you're a pretty good team.
Yeah, and then good defense as well. 28.5 sacks, 6 interceptions, and 13 forced fumbles.
Well, Yucca's got their work cut out for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think like the mysterious like play style that Yucca does play with, I think it's going to be quite the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of points, right?
Yeah, a lot of
You
points.
expecting an offensive battle. I mean, Yucca got offensive guys all over the place. They got their top line guy, Aiden Pope. He's just coming off a 3 touchdown performance. They're going to be ready. They look like themselves, I think, in the last game, putting up 50 points.
They can score it in a second.
And they're at home. I mean, Costa Mesa is a long bus ride out here. It's hard to get guys ready after a 3-hour bus ride to get ready and play at their top
Man, that's going to be a
level.
good game.
So I think a lot of points being scored. Kenji will be there to let us know what's
All right.
going on.
I don't want to put you on the spot. Who you going for?
Oh man, that's
I know.
tough.
Who are you going to root for? That's tough, man. You got
can
no
both-
cheering in the press box,
Yeah,
man.
can both teams win? Actually?
Yeah, all right. I'll let you out of that one.
Yeah,
Right.
because it was kind of funny. Costa Mesa actually was in Division 14 last year. So
moved up.
so
Yeah.
now for that school to move up, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, what a great draw for you personally.
Yeah,
huh?
It's all-
and I told Blake, I'm like, please put me on this game.
Yeah.
Well, you got your worst. You get to go see your alma mater. Kind of
Mhm.
cool. But we'll be rooting for the Trojans. We want Yucca Valley to make a
Yeah.
run. So
Hey,
let's-
more coverage for our desert, so that would
absolutely,
be great too.
man. Absolutely. And we think Yucca got the team to do it. So
Mhm.
we'll see. Hopefully Yucca gets out there and does what they're supposed to do. Moving on to another Division 12 matchup. So this one I think would be I'd say this is like game of the week because it's real interesting to all of us. Arroyo Valley at 8-2 is going to Desert Christian Academy 10-0. So this
Really
this is a
fascinating
big this is a big step up in competition for DCA. So
Yeah.
all the haters and doubters of DCA,
Mhm.
you're gonna find out this week because this is a good football team coming in here at Royal Valley.
And I
Right.
think they even want to play this game. I think they want to prove it and
Yeah.
see what they're made out of. I mean, that win last week against Vasquez was big, but this is another step up. It's going to be a good game. I'm sure they're going to come out fired up, ready to go.
Yeah. What do we know about Arroyo Valley?
I don't know much about Arroyo Valley, but I think the biggest like key takeaway is that DCA goes from Division 14 to Division 12 as well.
Yeah.
Like, you can look at the numbers, you can look at, anything, but, no matter if you go up a division or down a division, it's still going to be tough no matter what.
Yeah.
So I think, like you said, that DCA is ready to prove a point, saying, "Hey, we can beat those good teams." And I think it's going to be another dogfight. I think both teams love to put up points, and it's just I think it's going to be one of those games. Whoever makes the first stop will win that game.
Offensive shootout, huh?
Yeah, offensive shootout.
Well, I saw some film on Arroyo Valley playing Cat City, and they are look like a run heavy team.
Mhm.
Really?
But they've got some guys on the outside that can play. They've got some backs that can take it to the house. So I think it's going to be a test. I mean, Desert Christian going to have to come play, even though they're 10-0 and the favorite. This team's not bad. This is definitely the best team they've seen all year. Coach Johnson will have them ready. First game of the year at home playoffs. It should be an exciting time out there. in
That's a
Bermuda
huge
Dunes,
game.
man.
I'm looking forward to this game, too. This is
Yeah.
my favorite time of year.
Let's go Conquers, man.
Yeah.
Let's get out there. Everybody, all these doubters, it's time to prove them wrong, right? This is why we play. So we're excited for that one. Moving on, still in Division 12. We already kind of talked about Coachella Valley and Banning, so that's another Division 12 game that we've already kind of covered. But I mean, Division 12 is stacked, man.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I mean, even you think about like how many divisions are on this southern section. There's a lot of good
Yeah.
teams in the Division 12 bracket
Mhm.
that are really good. So just exciting football all the way around. And then finally, the last team in the valley into the playoffs, Division 13, Desert Hot Springs is going to Westbridge. Desert Hot Springs is coming in at 5-5, second in the Sun Valley League, and then we got Woodbridge at 2-8. So the team with a losing record. We did some research on Woodbridge. It looks like they won their last 2 games in league to get into the playoffs.
Sometimes you gotta be
What do we know?
careful of
What do
these
we know
teams.
about Woodbridge? That's from your old.
Yeah, I just know they're a big school. To be quite frank, I remember they had like when I was still in high school, they had like a 500 student graduating class. So I know they're a huge school.
Huge school, so big population.
Yeah.
So it'll be a population disadvantage.
Mhm.
That's any school, I think, at this point when we go over the hill, right? It's just in the
Yeah.
playoffs, we're always playing a bigger population base from the
Mhm.
valley, and we just got to get used to that. But Desert Hot Springs, man, those Golden Eagles are sometimes magical. They came back
Golden
and
Eagles.
came back in the second half and got into the playoffs. A 2-8 team, not necessarily a powerhouse, so they're on the road. They probably got a good chance to get into that second round. So we're going to be rooting for Coach P in the Desert
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
Desert Hot Springs Golden
Let's
Eagles.
go Golden Eagles.
Let's go. Let's get it in. So that's 8 teams, man. We got eight teams in the playoffs. We're looking forward to at least getting 7 to the next round.
That
right?
would be awesome.
Yeah.
We know we're
That'd be
not going to
awesome.
get 8, but because
Yeah.
of the banning Coachella Valley matchup.
that.
But I think there's a lot of games that we're going to be competitive in, and some we should be winning pretty handily. So we're real excited
Mhm.
about the playoffs and what's coming next. So that's going to kind of do it for the preview of the first round. Kenji, thanks for coming in, man. You
Yeah,
were
man.
awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I greatly enjoyed my time here.
Yeah, you were great, and we're gonna have to have you back as we continue on in this playoffs. Man, we need a professional opinion.
Yeah, got a professional in here.
I'm no pro by any means.
Yeah.
I just love the game, and I do a lot of research. I was going on every Max Preps team website on who each team was playing, and I kind of have a feel of who the stars are for our local teams, and I'm like, okay, this guy's good. This guy's good. Let me mark it down.
Yeah.
So it's just a bunch of research, and I greatly appreciate it.
Well, you're a big part of this community, even though you've only been here a couple years, and I know the kids love it. So you do a good job.
Yeah,
So
thank you very much.
Yeah.
So everybody check out Kenji's Corner on KESQ, and thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So if you guys found some value in that, you guys know the routine. Like, subscribe, and follow, and we'll see you next week on Desert Valley Blitz.